Hi, everyone. I'm with Dezi Valdez. How are you doing, Dezi?
Valdez. Nice to meet
Valdez?
you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you're with Operation Care?
Correct.
You know, it's a colorful in your pink shirt.
Yeah, this is for our new Go Youth program. So we're kind of promoting it as well as Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Okay. This is Domestic Violence Month.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And there seems to be a lot of domestic violence happens here in America.
Yes, and even in our small county, it's more. It happens more than people talk about. Definitely.
Okay. Now, I had a story, and I believe it was like close to 3 million incidents that they said happened in last year, 2011.
I would not disagree with that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And so that's a lot, and you're doing your best, and your office is doing its best to help quell domestic violence.
Correct.
And I would think myself, if we could raise kids that weren't as traumatized at home and in their home life, and of course, if you as an adult could live in your home life under nice conditions,
that'd be
the world
ideal.
would be a lot better place.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, I mean, more said, it sounds better than it is, but it does happen. But there is, I guess, people can change. I'm a strong believer, and I believe if people have the resources and the tools and the knowledge of domestic violence and violence in the home, because, you know.
Okay, and I guess since you said like people can change,
Yeah.
you need to have a program that can help people change, because people do get conditions and stuck in their ways, and people, we tend to stay the way we are,
Yes.
unless you find you find a very good reason and a good cause
To change.
And usually that involves some personal suffering where you say, I just can't do this anymore.
On both parts, I think. Yeah, absolutely. And we do. I mean, we offer our services to victims, absolutely, but we are trying a new approach too. We're trying prevention first. So hopefully we can,
Okay. Let's get in with the kids.
Yeah.
And into the families to say, okay, let's not pass this on. Okay. And what do you have? What do you do for that?
For the kids?
Yeah.
We have
What's your programs?
we have 4 different empowerment programs that we teach kids, about the red flags of dating violence, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, where to go if you do need help, because some kids are even scared to talk to their parents about it from rejection, or they're not going to believe them, the list goes on. So we offer different tools for kids to use so they can notice that this is not unhealthy.
Okay, so how do the kids come to you, or what age groups are you talking about?
We do children's counseling, but mostly we're focusing between 12 and 18 years old. And, they can come to our office, or they can call our crisis line. We can come to them if they have a youth group or community center or whatnot. We can bring all of our materials to them. So we're pretty open on that.
So is this a kind of a thing to where you're a 12-year-old, you feel like you're being emotionally abused, physically abused, at home, it's rough, it's tough. Maybe you've talked to your parents, maybe you haven't.
Yeah.
But, you don't like the situation anymore. They get a hold of you and Operation Care, and then Operation Care does what? Do they bring the parents in? Do they work with the
It could go either
kids
way.
on
I
themselves?
mean, the kids can. A lot of times we have groups with just the kids. I mean, sometimes it makes it really uncomfortable if the parents came with them. So we can do counseling either or. The parents can come in and get counseling, and the kids can come in and get counseling. We find that a group setting is better because different opinions come out, and they can actually share what they've gone through with each other. So they kind of help each other, and we're there, just to supervise or give them what we know. But it's kind of nice how kids can work out different issues on their own, just, with support by one another.
Well, sure. I don't think they've, they haven't been stuck in the cycle as long, for one thing.
Well, give or take. I mean, if a child is born and raised in a household that has violence, that's all they know. I mean, they don't know that it's not okay to be called names or put downs. They don't know that. So a lot of times that's how they act, even to their peers.
Well, when I was younger, when you would go to someone else's house, that's when you were exposed to other ways of behavior, how other families interacted, and you could come away and say, "Wow, that's really nice of my house," or you might say, "I like being over there better," or things like that. So, people then and children contact you, and I guess I'm asking now: is Health and Human Services involved in this?
In our program?
Yeah.
We do collaborate with different agencies. So, I mean, if there is issues that we can't fix or it's kind of out of our league, we refer them to other places that could if it's more in depth. We are peer counselors, so we can work on issues at the moment, I guess, and fix those, but we can't go back.
We were at Ellen. I'm not sure if I have a clip ready. We might need to run it in the next segment.
Okay.
So, tell us some of the success stories and how they came about.
Well, we have a couple of them that are really inspiring to us, and it keeps us going because we do know that there is hope that people can change. I mean, we love when women come in and they've just had enough and they are ready to be on their own, do their own things. They're tired of being mistreated.
Okay.
And, the best thing for me personally...
So sometimes the change means you have to get out of that environment. It's not going to work.
You have to. You have to, and you have to take your role, and you have to do, you have to make what's best for your children, too. Because if children are exposed to that, most likely they're going to run that cycle.
Right, and as a parent, either parent, if that's all that's going to work out, you have the duty to
protect children,
protect your child, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so sometimes things not working out as a family unit with the man and the woman relationship, or all the different relationships we could have today. That's a good thing. Just say, we need to walk away from this.
Yeah, and it doesn't. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that it makes you any bad. It just kind of, maybe it's toxic, and it's not meant to be, I guess, and
And you never know what would happen when you change the situation. Who knows? Maybe it's the stimulus that someone needs to get their act together to be able to come back in the situation or not. Right?
Yeah, because violence in any form it's not healthy. I mean, it's not a relationship at all.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, how do people get a hold of you?
We have numerous ways. We can have walk-ins. You can just come to our office, which is at 619 New York Ranch Road.
Okay.
Or you can call our 24-hour crisis line, which is 209-223-2600. And that runs 24/7. You can also just call our main line. And so we have numerous ways of getting hold of us. Absolutely. We have Facebook. We have the website.
Do you interact with the schools?
Not yet. We're hoping. That is a goal for us to get in there.
I mean, do you ever go to some of the functions that they have and say, hey?
Well, not necessarily on the school campuses, but we interact with all of the activities we do.
Okay. Now, one of the great ways that you probably do that is like right now through Operation Cares Awareness.
T-shirts.
With the purple people that are all over. I think we have some clip. Maybe Alan could, show some of that clip. And this here is up at the top of Martell, up by John's Pit Stop.
Yes, it is. It's a new location this year.
Okay, so all those people remind people what?
So we just want people to realize that it does happen. I mean, nobody likes it, but it needs to be talked about. People need to be aware that it does happen, and silence doesn't fix it.
Right. First, you have to admit there's a problem. Okay, and then you can work on it. Right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Okay. Now, how did somebody come up with this idea for the purple people?
That was Tammy Crabtree. She was researching different ways to bring awareness, and she came across this story. I'm not quite sure what agency did it first or not, but she created it in her own way. So
it was somewhat, ingenious there.
Yeah, there was an idea, and she just built off of it and created the 150 purple people now that we post. And it does represent half of the victims we have served. So,
wow.
Yeah.
All right. And so are there any special things that you'll be having this month?
Absolutely. We have the cycle of violence. I don't know if we can...
Okay, I believe we have a clip of that.
Yeah.
And not a clip, but we have a picture of that, a little bit closer.
Yeah, and it runs from the 8th to the 25th, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And it's a really great thing because you actually get to feel what a victim goes through in a domestic violence through each stage, the honeymoon, the tension, and the acute. And it's 3D, multisensory, so we welcome anybody.
Okay, I was out there the other day and saw that, and the room that you have with the different
stages,
areas, different stations. I guess you go into the one station, the honeymoon station, and then the one that the flare up, I guess, would happen at, and then or the tension, I believe it's called, like the tension building
That's
stage.
walking on eggshells.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. And then from there, you go into the other room, I guess, where it just cuts loose.
Yeah. And I just think it's a great thing because if people aren't familiar with domestic violence, I mean, not all households have it, obviously. It kind of gives a different perspective for them to understand where victims do come from.
Okay. Okay. Well, it was really nice talking with you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
And we're going to have another segment. And the next segment, I'm going to be talking with Tammy Crabtree. And we'll be talking more about Operation Care here locally and Domestic Violence Month, October, as well. So stay with us here on TSPN. We'll be right back after this break. You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader, TSPN.